We're going to start here tonight with some serious financial concerns with SUNY, which operates 64 campuses with total enrollment of more than 370,000 students. It turns out quite a few SUNY schools face big deficits despite getting a bump in state aid this past year for the first time in a long time. System-wide, there are 19 schools now that face deficits, including Buffalo State and Fredonia here in our region. Each is projected to be at least $16 million in the red. They're two of the highest projected deficits in all of SUNY. And the fear is that colleges and universities could face some serious cuts if something doesn't give. 2 on Your Side's Dave McKinley was at a rally today where SUNY faculty, staff, and supporters sounded the alarm.
Last year, we finally turned the page on over a decade of austerity budgets put in place by the previous governor.
Fred Kowal is president of the union representing SUNY faculty.
Was Governor Cuomo no friend to SUNY?
No, he's not a friend of SUNY at all. We had a great deal of difficulty in getting any kind of funding.
He says this forced SUNY and its campuses to rely more heavily on tuition for funding, which had been frozen for 2 years.
And when you start to see an enrollment decline, that's going to affect the revenue side.
He says this has affected Buff State and Fredonia in particular.
How much of this is on Buff State and Fredonia for this financial predicament?
Well, I think that, issues of, how they've been managed and so on and so forth certainly could be asked, but I think it's more relevant to understand that there are students who would like to attend, who are interested in attending, but do not do so because of the cost.
At the same time, though, along with the freeze on tuition, SUNY has expanded programs for eligible students to get in tuition free.
You have to address the cost of fees, which have been going up. And it's the issue of fees where campuses, especially places like Buffalo State and Fredonia, the comprehensive campuses, where they've tried to make up the revenue difference.
The president of the largest higher education union in the country wants the state to invest an additional $350 million in SUNY next year.
Is that for science labs and things like that, or is that for salaries for employees?
I would say it's for both.
Because he insists students aren't the only thing certain colleges are struggling to attract.
They can't bring in candidates they want to who will accept positions because the salaries aren't competitive with other institutions. Governor Hochul, to her credit, pointed that out in her State of the State. And so hopefully this year, the resources will be there.
And do you think there are SUNY campuses that would be closed if this isn't taken care of?
I think that down the road, there are going to be serious financial issues. We are seeing it in some of the community colleges already. And I think that's a result of gross underfunding that has taken place.
And Dave joins us now live. So one of the things that we noticed there, along with the deficits that were listed, was that the student to faculty ratio at 15-1 and 14-1 at Buff State and Fredonia, respectively. Some of our viewers might wonder, what's the argument against raising that if it's going to mean you have the money to keep the colleges afloat?
Well, one of the big considerations for students and parents is that number, Michael, when it comes to choosing a college. The fear is if it gets too high, a college becomes less desirable to the applicants. And though some will tell you anything over 14-1 is considered high, the National Center for Education Statistics says the national average is actually 18-1.
All right, Dave McKinley with the story here tonight. Dave, thank you very much.